Um, yeah, they'll just have to come in and like.
Oh, here it
maybe
is.
shoot.
You want to put that in the group
Oh,
right
there it
there?
go. There it go. There
Copy
it go.
link.
All right, cool.
So you put that in the group.
Let
Or
me.
send it to Mello, text to Mello, he put in the
Yeah,
group.
I'm gonna text it to him back
You want to put it up
there.
here real quick?
Huh?
You want to put it up here?
Yeah. Let me send it first.
You want to get some light going, or you don't think it's necessary?
Nah, that's cool.
Alright, so you set it on here wherever you're ready.
Okay.
You can leave it on the table, you can just extend the leg and put it in the corner.
Okay.
I can just get going, and then you'll catch it up. I mean, folks.
Yeah. I'm gonna just keep on going. But we ain't gonna keep on too much of this.
All right, so the first thing I want to do, hey Karen, is introduce y'all, and myself, since I've been more active with collectively sustainable in this kind of recent iteration, even though we've been organizing for 5 years together, and also Karen and Deirdre, who are part of Visualizing Your Future, which is a group that Kenisha and I have been organizing with for the last 5 years. And about 2 weeks ago, Karen, Deirdre, and maybe 5 other people came to my house, and we did like an event that weekend. Then we went over to the farm. They got a chance to meet Ashley and Lawrence for the first time. And it was actually my first time meeting some of them in person, even though we've been organizing virtually, for a few years. So we've been kind of parallel doing this similar work together. And I've been working towards bringing it all together, and that finally happened a couple weeks ago. So, we're all here to share our collective vision, together. So, with that being said, let's just do a quick round, just to introduce yourself and where you're at, and beyond that, then I do have an agenda, and I will share the agenda with everyone once we just do a quick intro, just so y'all can introduce yourselves to each other. For those of you, Karen and Deirdre and everyone that's here live. So, who want to jump in first? All right.
Hey, how y'all doing? Can you hear me? Good.
What's up?
Yeah, there we go. I'm Mello, and this is my fiance Deani, and we're out of Stockbridge, Georgia.
And I know y'all met Lawrence and Ashley. So can y'all introduce yourselves as well, please? Karen and Deirdre, just where you're zooming in from, and anything else you want to share, please.
Yeah, sure. I'm happy to go. Yeah. My name is Karen. I'm in the Tampa, Florida area, and not sure what else to share. I was really inspired by what Lawrence is doing. It's been on my mind for a long time to live more sustainably, and so that's why I'm here. Nice to meet you all. I'm Deirdre Soares.
Hello.
Being with last week before last, I see this farm and want to be involved. Next steps.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll have time to say more. So thank you both. Did you want to say anything additional? Okay. All right. So we'll have a chance to say more. Let me get the agenda rolling. I'm gonna pull it up so y'all can see it as well. Kind of doing a few things here on the fly.
Oh, you can sit there. I'll just be the cameraman today.
Matter of fact, I'm just gonna drop it in the chat. And then so y'all can see it. Karen and Deirdre.
We need access, request access.
Okay. Share. Anyone with the link. Editor. Copy Karen, are you able to pull it up, or you need me to put it on the screen? You pulled over, right? You're not driving, are you? All right, so for those who are here, I'm just going to tell y'all briefly like what the overview is, and then we'll jump into it. So, want to start out with a grounding activity, kind of check in beyond what we just did, set intentions, share the vision, where each person will have a few minutes just to talk about why we're here and sourcing our collective visions. Then a group reflection and resonance, where I'm going to invite everyone to answer a question about what they would like to see this community embody or achieve that we're visioning. And then we're going to consolidate those answers into a culture statement. And then we're gonna map interests and skills so we can start getting to the nitty gritty about what each of us can do to move this vision forward in between us getting together. All right, so got some examples there. We're gonna talk about immediate next steps, co-decide on what needs to be done moving forward. Basically everyone walking away with some to-dos. And we're also gonna talk about our agreements for working together. Basically, I took the values from Collectively Sustainable's website. So it's just all of us consenting to those values and talking about what they mean to us very briefly, and just, using those to anchor our conversations going forward to make sure that we remain aligned and accountable to these values. And then wrap up. So that's pretty much what the agenda is. Any questions about that before we jump in? All right. So the first thing, this is our grounding activity / check-in. The first question is, what inspired you to join this initiative? So we can each kind of get to know each other's minds and hearts a little better just by going around briefly and just answering that question. What inspired you to join this initiative? And beyond Collectively Sustainable, but specifically talking about village planning, Collectively Sustainable Village Planning Initiative.
What led me here, just getting to know y'all, and seeing that y'all are like-minded individuals. So being with other people that's like-minded, that's what really compelled me to join this initiative.
Cool.
Add on to what he said too, especially people that truly care for one another and care for one another's well-being is what also of course us here, people that genuinely want others to be healthy, to be whole, and to be free. So
Healthy, whole, and free.
I guess we'll go around in circles. I guess what led me here is my children. I wanted a community, a healthy community for my children. And I wanted them to even have the characteristics of being people that people want to be in community with also. So, yeah, it was my children who led me here.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll double down. Because I wasn't thinking that, but yeah, that's really it. Like the children, I always say it like we have to plan for the next generation, our children's children, and we have to leave something for them to build on. And right now we're sinking, and so it's no other option to do this, like to really build it out to where it can be a communal space physically, to where we can practice what we preaching all the way through and through.
That's right. It was the children for me. Children's mind, us midwife, and not just the children, but inner child of adults too. Like our liberation and wellness, like just echoing everything. Wellness, our connection to what for me is the divine, like to nature, and really being able to see interconnection, like really seeing it, and feeling it and knowing it.
All right. Before I share mine, so you gotta be in the video.
Yeah.
So how are we gonna figure this out? So you can stand that up, because if folks watching live, I want them to see everybody and what we're doing.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Well,
You shared it in the group too? Already?
no. No.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, I try to send it and it won't go out.
Yeah.
But if anybody can go to YouTube and just go to Collectively Sustainable, you'll see it on live and you can share to the group if you can with my services.
Yeah, my service is
Are you on the Wi-Fi, Ashley?
fine.
The Wi-Fi is behind y'all on that whiteboard.
You know, that's just gonna clog it up, so they're gonna probably make it worse if everybody get on your Wi-Fi
May not.
and stream.
Man, you got that powerful,
Okay.
Respect,
that
respect.
powerful Wi-Fi.
Which one you do?
I got what, like another week or two? About 2.5 weeks. How you feel?
I'm gonna turn it around too. Just go ahead and flip it straight. Oh, hold on, that's not closed up. Oh, I got you. I'm sure.
Or it might be, you know, we can try any corner.
Yeah, I'm gonna just switch it around. Okay. All right. See what that corner look like. Oh, I'm finna stand up the whole time. Yeah, see? You can't see everybody.
So like right behind this chair.
Yeah, it's just like the table so
Can't
wide.
see nobody.
Yeah,
So we gotta come at an angle.
yeah, I think like
This angle is the best.
right here would be the best. It's kind of dark.
There you are, Kanisha.
Y'all didn't see me.
In the side.
Hey.
You okay? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this is, I mean, yeah, this is like this.
I need you.
I'll be back in the corner anyway.
Such a good memory.
Hey, cool.
Yeah, that's that. So we get in the corner.
Every time I hug someone, I think of our hug.
But yeah, my hugs have gotten back activated, like,
Yeah.
to it, yeah, I had lost it for a minute. They're back. Thanks to y'all.
Oh, what's going on out here?
And, alright, so.
A lot of personal out
Can they hear you from inside?
Huh?
Can they hear the trees hear you from inside?
Yeah, they feel the vibe.
They
Alright, so, okay, so what inspired me to join this initiative? I don't know, can you move back a little bit? I don't know, they can't see. So, yeah, so what inspired me, is, I guess just seeing what's going on in the world and understanding that things can be done differently and having the desire to be a part of the different. I would say that, a strong desire to be a part of like the next, you know, and the belief that we can, you know, create what's next. We don't gotta continue to just accept everything that's like going on in the world. We can be about change. So I'd rather be about action than sitting around complaining. So that's what inspired me to join this initiative. So, all right, so I appreciate everyone sharing your initial words on that. So our intention for this gathering today is to connect, get to know each other better, based on how we're thinking about this. It's to align our collective visions to create, you know, a unified, collective individual visions to create a unified collective vision, and to co-create the foundation of the collectively sustainable village. All right, that name can change, but that's just what I'm calling it now. If we decide we want to change it to something else, we can, of course, right? So the next thing that I would like for all of us to do is take some time sharing our high-level vision for a collectively sustainable village. So what I want to ask everyone to do is take a few minutes to write words or phrases for the key elements of your vision. And so what I'm going to do is I want us to do that digitally. And I'm gonna put a link in the chat again for Karen and Deirdre. You can write it on paper first, and then I want you to add it to this board that we'll be able to kind of keep everything in the same place. And for those who are here, you can do it on your smartphones. I'm gonna pull up this QR code real quick. And what I mean by like short phrases or one words for key elements of your vision. So like, for example, like zero waste, minimalism, aquaponics, food forest, sociocracy, unschooling, etc. You know, you can just high level, when you think of a collectively sustainable village, you know, what elements does it have? You know, what are the key elements that encompass what's drawing you to a collectively sustainable vision and what you want to see in it? Does that make sense to anyone? I mean, to everybody?
Absolutely.
All right. So I'm gonna drop this link. Let's see. In the chat, and for those who are here, I'm gonna start with those who are here. Scan this QR code, and then it'll pop right up on your phone
And what is this a link to? The QR code to?
to this board that we're gonna have. All our answers will be there.
Okay, you so high tech around here.
Since we got people virtual and in person, I'm trying to figure out a way to have it all in one spot.
Man, that's dope.
I'm not seeing it in
You want us
chat
to put
yet.
it on the.
Oh, give me 1 second, Derby.
Okay.
I'm letting everyone here get it first, and then I'm gonna put it in the chat.
Cool.
You gotta do it like this.
You want us to type, particular subject?
You can,
It's asking for a subject.
this is my first time using this, so it could just be your name and subject. Maybe that's what we'll see what populates. Shanny told me about this, and I'm trying it for the first time, this particular tool. Got it? Alright, so next I'm going to let me see, share link is copied, and I'm coming to y'all in the chat. Alright, so it's in the chat now,
Jan,
and this is my first time using this one.
do I have to sign up?
You said you shouldn't have to sign in.
I think.
I shouldn't have to?
What is it saying? What is it doing for you?
Sign up, and then, oh no, let me see what this plus is.
Like your old screen.
Oh yeah, hit the plus to add stuff to the board. Does it say some collectively sustainable village planning?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to add to it.
Yeah, hit that big plus at the bottom right.
You did.
All right, Karen's on the
Karen,
board.
oh, I think I'm getting that.
Okay.
It's just the image of us keeps getting in the way.
All right.
Whew.
Can I scan it again, Sanjana?
Yeah.
They have to give me a name, dependable ladybug like that.
That's
About how many phrases, because I have to write a paragraph.
Right, you write a paragraph, whatever,
Okay.
and we can pull out what we need to pull out.
And can you write mine too?
Okay.
on this part, and it says,
My phone is on live.
Which one?
It's a process.
All right, somebody just asked if we're still going live in the, where is the, Melo, you put the link in the group already?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me go get
It's
it.
on the, intro.
Intros.
I think that's what it posted on the intro. Didn't need to.
Huh.
That's the right category. Oh.
Intros is like when people first come in.
It should be,
I hit
Like,
feed.
check this out.
check this
Oh,
out, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
check this out.
Right, so it changed, because I hit feed and then I
Yeah,
typed.
you can go try to change it. You can move it. It's not a big deal. I'll move it later.
Should I write my short things that I wrote down
Yes, please.
in a thing? Okay.
Let me edit this. Edit this, can I edit this?
We're trying to edit his post.
My post, because I had a different link in there.
All right, so which one? I hit feed at first, and the 2-minute intro.
Shit is up.
That's one thing, that's a problem.
Let's see. Alright, that's it.
All right, all right, all right, all right. All right. I guess the topic can be our names or a title.
And then after that, we just publish it.
Yes.
What should we call it?
Oh, yeah, the subject is different from the name.
Oh, yes.
What it actually is. For anybody watching on the live stream, we're doing a little activity right now. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about like what elements are necessary to us in this community, this eco community that we're visioning.
Okay, my community vision is gonna be my subject.
What did you put down?
That I was supposed to do?
Let me see. Hey, I think this it right here. Wait, I guess I can move it. Let me see.
It's here.
Oh. See, I see some right here, but this one show my ass.
It's mine.
I'm gonna try to,
Oh, here we go.
so you gotta move it,
I moved it.
drag it.
I hold it.
Oh, it's just popping up. Look, how you can see it?
That's what I'm trying to see. Well, she's dragging each page.
I dragged mine. Like, I think you can only drag yours. Your own.
Yeah.
Where we go. I mean, I was also move it from there too. But...
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like that.
I think it did.
Oh,
I
Lord.
can figure out how to.
Why did it? How
That's
come?
all I
I
did.
fixed that. Let me edit that because
I have one with a
how do I do that? I'm trying to get that little friendly I'm trying to change it. I don't know how to change that. Oh, really? How do I change that?
So that's the first time you do this.
Try the three dots.
Yeah.
Anyone else still writing like me?
What's going on, good people?
Update.
Oh, where'd you do that at, Ashley, at the top versus Lawrence and Ashley?
That's what
When you go to publish, it'll ask your name.
I'm
What's
gonna
called?
have to see if you can delete it and then redo it. That you said in the subjects.
Responsible tuna was the name they gave me.
Is that what we're doing?
Responsible tuna.
They still made me friendly aardvark. I can't change it.
Oh.
It's okay.
Mine's
I like
was-
Arthur. So. You know.
Alright.
Mine's was on this profile.
Okay. Anyone feel like they need some more time? Or we can start sharing with one another. Alright, so who would like to, so let's just do, a round of just sharing out, what it is that is important to us when we think about, what this collectively sustainable village should encompass, what elements should it have? Or would you like to see it have?
I can start. I have empathy, self-directed learning, environmentally friendly, natural foods, wellness, creative joy, intuition, connection, consciousness, accountability, sovereignty, liberation, love, balance, chosen family, vibrational medicine, co-regulation, activated power, brain space, and embodiment.
Could y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Alright. Any questions, any comments, any questions about Kanisha's share?
Resonance.
I would say residents. How come I don't see it? That's weird.
It's under village and learning.
Oh, I see.
Okay, I don't even see everything on my phone for some reason. Let me refresh. But thank you, Kanisha. Everything you share resonates with me.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'll go next, man. I actually thought it was supposed to be one word. So I chose reciprocity. I think as we venture into collectively sustainable modalities, we have to understand that we can, as much as we take out, we need to be willing and ready and able to pour back in so that we can continue this thing going. So reciprocity is always my key word with building intentional community.
I love this share over there something.
I'll go. I have sustainable whole / fresh food plus access. Like I was supposed with production plus access. Community, relationship, fellowship, synergy, being collaborative and safe.
I like synergy.
To come close,
Mm-hmm.
make it.
That
resonates. Anyone heard anything that doesn't resonate with them just yet? Like, hold on, I don't know about that one.
You know, I really wanted you to expound on safe. What is safe?
So, safe to still be who everyone is individually, but also bringing those, you know, safe. I don't have to worry about waking up and somebody in my just knowing that I'm surrounded by safety. Like I know I'm protected, but in reality too, I would like it to be safe. However that looks, but still welcoming. But don't do the roll up. Hold on. How are you? How you doing?
Yeah, I only ask because a lot of people have different variations.
Yeah, still welcoming, but we still.
Yeah. Who down?
Okay. Anyone else?
My three, I put 3 elements, ecological restoration, mutualistic relationships, and sociocracy. So those are my 3. And then
Okay, I'll go next. I have unified household, unified community. That's kind of like equal. Unified household with unified community. Everyone is an educator. Skill sharing, empathetic, accountable, and loving.
I love that everyone is an educator, you know, because we can let's all learn from each other, even the children are educators. Like that.
I'll go. First one thing that jumped to mind is cooperation. And I think that's connected to, the way I think of cooperation is connected to the reciprocity. I'm not saying it right. Reciprocity. Reciprocity. Second thing, nurturing happiness and healthiness in humans and the earth for generations to come. And third, repair intergenerational trauma.
Anyone have any questions or anything on the last few shares? You can jump in, any resonance, any, I'll say for me, repair intergenerational trauma. I like that one. That's not something that's on mine or something I thought about, but I think that it's something that we can help each other heal for sure.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea of like intergenerational trauma, to me, that covers a lot. That covers a lot of harms that we adopted. And I like that, because, yeah.
It's a big thing for me. It's a big part of my life right now. Recognizing intergenerational trauma.
Do you care to expound, do you care to speak more on what you mean by that and what's coming up for you with that?
It's hard for me to understand.
She said, do you care to expound or say what you say any more about that?
Yeah, just since I feel like it's important. If there's 2 minutes to go into it, I'm a descendant of enslavers in Georgia, and now I've discovered also South Carolina. And Macon, when I was in Atlanta 2 weeks ago, Sunjata amazingly accompanied me on a trip to Macon where the last 2 generations were focused, were centered, were based in. And I think there's a lot of people carrying epigenetic trauma right now due to slavery's role in society. And I really
really would like to be part of a pushback and a repair. And it's both selfish and for the common good. And it's amazing to be with you all, see what you've begun and like I said before, I'd love to be a part of how it moves forward.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Deirdre. And real quick, Cynthia, check your messages, because you were supposed to be on the virtual working session with us too. I just sent you the link if you want to join us over there, Cynthia. I see you on the live stream. But yeah, thank you, Deirdre. Anyone else want to jump in?
I mean, I can go ahead with mine. I can't see it on the screen though. So Dad, if you could scroll maybe.
It's behind.
You see it now?
It's behind.
It's right here.
Okay, yeah, I see it. Yeah, so I think the things that I thought about, I will admit, came from a sense of fear about moving forward. So it addresses that need for safety that I didn't explicitly name, but these are the things behind that sense. A community that's diverse, free, uncoerced, kind, patient, and connected. Free to still be who they are individually, not having to conform to a certain posturing in order to feel as if they belong. Those words are pretty self-explanatory, but like the reason behind it is one, to make sure that I am safe in a space to agree, disagree, find something else a priority that, maybe isn't the group priority, just making sure that we are all still celebrated, loved individual, even as secret.
Thank you, Karen.
Yes, I'm here.
Cynthia, can you mute out, or anyone can mute out if you're not talking right now? Because I'm hearing some feedback. Thank you. And yeah, that I love the uncoerced. I love that you named that, Karen, because I think I just know that that's something I've worked on interrogating within myself in all of my relation, how I relate with other people over the years. It's something I had to do a lot of work on to make sure I'm moving in ways that don't coerce. And I think that's a blind spot for a lot of folks still. And I think it's definitely a part of the pre-work that a lot of us have to do going into, this type of liberated context. And keeping that front of mind is important. So I appreciate you naming it in that way. Yeah.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes. I'll echo that, the naming the uncoerced, naming of transition away from power over and control, but also naming the belonging factor, right? The feelings of just wanting to be able to show up authentically as yourself, with the love and support of community, but to still feel belong if, like you belong, if you're not the same as everybody else. Appreciate you.
Karen, you mentioned something about fear to start. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, I've had experiences of, communities that were arranged around certain principles, a vegan community, for example, and it was pretty militant, pretty unforgiving of others, pretty closed to others, and at times unkind in how they spoke about others or viewed others, because they were so fervent in their belief. And so, I understand how fervor can sometimes translate into unkindness and break connection. And so that's something that I don't want to be a part of, and so that's the fear.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, and I think also, just really quickly, you know, there's a bit of history in community, like, you know, are you Black enough? Are you militant enough? Are you radical enough? You know, in my history. And so, again, wanting to just be able to be who I am without having to fear it.
Yeah. Really quick, welcome Cynthia. Can you see the chat, Cynthia? Because if you do, there's a link to the agenda at the very top, and then at the very bottom, there's a link to the board that we all just answered the question under share the vision. Can you see that, Cynthia?
I'm looking for it. Let me see.
And if it's too late, you just want to kind of go with the flow, you can pick up where we are. You don't have to go back. But if you want to, I just want to let you know it's in the chat.
Okay, I'm not, I really don't use this app, so I'm looking for it. I still don't see it though.
All right, I just reposted it just in case it's not there.
Okay.
I'm reposting 2 things for you to see where we are.
Okay.
All right. Is there anyone who didn't share other than me? Am I the only one? All right, where's mine at? You said mine was behind. I can't move these. Only you can move it. Okay. I probably did something wrong.
Probably behind.
Get used to it.
Yeah.
I can't even see it on my phone, like something's not working correctly. All right, I think I did something wrong, so mine isn't showing or something's going on with the board. Let me see. Why can't I move stuff? All right, anyway, I'll just say what I think I remember I wrote, or what I would have wrote. I'm trying to see if I have any. I'm gonna try to stick to stuff maybe that no one said that maybe was on mine. So one thing that was on mine, I guess everything I'm gonna say is probably mentioned maybe in a different way, but the way I wrote it was raising free people. You know, some of y'all know Akila Richards, her podcast, Fair to Free Child, and her whole tagline is Raising Free People, raisingfreepeople.com. And a book, she has a book called Raising Free People. And, you know, one of the biggest motivators for me when I envision this type of community is preparing the next generation to be so well adjusted to liberation and freedom and anti-oppression that when they go into conventional places and spaces, it'll automatically feel so uncomfortable to them that they'll know where home is. And or if they do choose, well, they'll have a place where they can always live and thrive and they never have to leave if they don't want to. They won't have to go create it because we already did it for them, right? So they can always just live and be there, liberated. But if they choose to go navigate the conventional society, they'll immediately know how to advocate for themselves because they'll feel oppression immediately. They'll feel coercion. They'll feel, you know, all the various isms and all the things that, you know, cause harm out there. And to me, like that gets me really, really excited about this work that we're doing. Is the ability to create a community where young people can grow up and this is like all they know. You know, that gets me really excited. So that was one thing I wrote. Another thing I wrote was evolving zero waste practices. And my understanding of zero waste, you know, is the idea that nature doesn't make waste. Humans do, but nature in itself doesn't create waste. Like everything that is a byproduct of nature is used by something else for a purpose, right? So I would love to be in community where we're reducing our carbon footprint because we are, adopting zero waste practices and continue to evolve them. I mean, we're getting better and better and better over time. We're not going to be perfect at first because we grew up in a conventional world and we use conventional products and things, to varying degrees. But learning how to like relinquish dependency on those things and learning how to be, live regeneratively in every way. That's something I'm really interested in. Being post-capitalist, being a post-capitalist society. So like when I envision, again, creating this community, for me, it's bigger than just creating a space for me. Or let's say me and mine, right? For me, it's like also, I want to be, it's like a form of like organizing and activism in the sense that I want this place to be a model for others who want to be able to transition away from conventional, society into the next. So I would like to like live the values, be the values, so that we could also create a blueprint for others to follow who choose to. When folks really get tired and like we out, we done with this, it's like a lot of people now, they try to leave the country, right? A lot of folks that leave the country when they get mad at the US. But, capitalism, power over is worldwide, So I would love to create that place where folks can just transition out and into something new where we are, or with them duplicating what we create. So that's also something that's really inspiring for me and gets me excited, is the opportunity to do that as well. I feel like everything else that y'all said is lockstep. And I want to plus one what some of y'all said that I think is important, and it's a bold statement, and I know it's something that's ever evolving in all of us, and we're all at different stages of it, right? It's like, one of the things about living into the future is also healing those past traumas around, the harm that was done around racism, enslavement, etc. And I don't know when I made the transition over to seeing, like, when I think about community, it's not just about someone's phenotype or the color of their skin tone, it's more about their heart and their mind. And there is a lot of folks out there who are, wherever they are in their journey, is like fearful to organize with people who look different than them. And even there's people who are fearful organizing with other genders. I know people who are creating women-only communities or LGBTQ plus only communities along the same lines because they're afraid to engage with men or they're afraid to engage with, hetero people, etc. And I want to be a part of being in community with people who are willing to do the work that I personally have done, because I grew up with all those biases, but I personally have put a lot of work into questioning them, challenging them, and moving beyond them, and understanding that, biodiversity in nature is the most healthy ecosystem, and humans are nature. And biodiversity within our relationships, within our communities is just as important if we want to be the most resilient. Based on the example of, species in nature that have been around longer than humans, I've done a lot of research on this type of thing. So that's why I'm saying it like that. And it's like the most biodiverse ecosystems are the ones that are the most resilient against threats and etc. So I think that's important to move beyond that and not continue to fall into that trap. So yeah, I'll stop there. Is there anyone else who didn't? I think all of us shared. Yeah. Cynthia, where you at with it? You want to hop in? Do you think you're picking up on the theme? Do you want to share some things, or you just want to kind of ease into the next prompt?
I would just say for me, probably everybody already know what I'm going to say. It's just honoring and respecting natural law. I feel like when you live, based in natural law, everything else will tend to fall in place, because you're respecting others' freedom, their sovereignty, and their rights, and you're doing no harm to others. So it's, a simple principle, but I feel like it's the foundation to everything. You want something to, end up in peace and harmony, it has to start in peace and harmony, So that's it for me.
Thank you. All right, so our next prompt that I'm gonna ask everyone to do is to answer this or continue a sentence or answer the question but make it a sentence. The question is, what would you love to see this community embody or achieve? So if you can start a sentence and just do it in 1 to 2 sentences that says, I would like to see this community embody and achieve, or you can choose one or the other. You can say, I would like to see this community embody, or I would like to see it achieve, or you can add both to your sentence. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But just 2 sentences. Because I'm gonna take those 1 or 2 sentences and I'm gonna consolidate them into a collective culture statement. Basically, who we say we wanna be for one another and the people we're in community with. That's what the culture will say is gonna be our anchoring to, and we'll talk about the values in a little bit, but does that make sense?
Yep.
All right.
Can you say it again in a different way? And also, I'm gonna have to leave soon. I'm so sorry. I'm
I understand.
upset that I have to. But with the prompt, I'll answer it, and then I'm gonna have to leave.
Okay.
Is it gonna be recorded?
You know what? It's being live streamed, so yes. Well, I think we'll be able to share that link when it's over. But also, Deirdre, you can look at the agenda if you want to answer a question from there.
Okay.
You have the agenda link, right?
Yeah, I do.
And can you just put it on this board when you're done?
Exit the board?
No, put it in the same board, just as another
Oh,
card.
yeah, in the same board.
As another card.
I
Okay,
just put another.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
I'm so happy you,
I will see you soon. We'll talk soon.
okay.
What's the same?
All right, so the sentence is, what would you love to see this community embody or achieve? So you're gonna write, I would love to see this community embody, or you're gonna write, I would love to see this community achieve, or you're gonna choose both, embody and achieve, and put those into 2 separate sentences or the same sentence. Let's see if this one will work for me.
Yeah, I was just trying to memorize it.
That's you right there.
Okay. Somebody and what?
Everybody in the chief.
There's food in there if anybody wants to take a little, go grab some. Hopefully the kids need some. So I see some folks in the chat saying you want to join. I I'm not sure if you're folks that are seeing this on YouTube or you're someone who's just seeing this from the group that we're already in. But if you go to collectivelysustainable.org, you can learn how to join us. And if you're already a part of Collectively Sustainable, we're asking for people to at least be at the stewardship level within your participation within Collectively Sustainable to join these planning meetings. Otherwise, we're asking folks to just join us by watching and supporting, by watching this, and over time, we'll start, offering other ways that folks can support from afar. And I appreciate those of you who are answering the questions along with us right here in the chat. That's dope. Right now, we're answering the question. Where is it? What would you love to see this community embody or achieve?
Be careful when you. I guess it's what you said. Oh, you see the second question?
I don't know where it went. I think it did the same thing to you that it did to you, so I just published it, but I don't see it.
Yeah, me too.
So this thing is it's glitchy. It's not a good platform for
Did you refresh?
You might have made a comment under your original.
Oh, it's a new post. It was a new post.
Mine didn't come up either. Okay, Spanish.
And then mine's not on here. Mine is not on here.
So if you make a comment under your post, where's yours at? You
It
can't
didn't
vote?
show up. But you know, it's probably up under here.
Cool.
It's probably up, because you remember how you pulled it out last night.
Oh yeah, they're behind. I see some
Okay, so
behind.
you're behind.
It's not really
Yeah,
here,
it's
so
stacked.
it's saying,
It just take a minute to be able to.
Hey Shannon, could you come here real quick, please? Do you know how to move stuff in Padlet? Because we're getting stuck in here where it's not oh, here it is. It's kind of delayed, but it is moving now.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
okay.
I'm gonna move stuff around.
They sound so loud.
I was gonna ask you. I just wanted to ask you to take it down, or go down back downstairs. This is
You would try.
Everything.
for some reason it's delayed, and y'all write some things are behind other things. Man, I should have went with the original one I was going to use. I don't have this issue. What else can we do? Because I can't see. I see Cynthia's. I see Deirdre's, Kenesha's. I see mine on my phone, but I don't see it on the screen. Work with me.
It's just popping up slowly.
It's all good. We still got to record it.
What can I do? What can I do?
We wanted to go back and.
Where can we put it real quick, Phil? Like everybody, I just text you my number or the agenda. So if you don't see yours on the screen, I'm just gonna just type them up real quick. Put them right here. I would like
be the first one that ever popped up, or why is it trying?
No.
Yeah, Cynthia.
So those who are watching, we're trying to figure out a workaround for this technology not responding.
So maybe we can send our answers to you. And what's good scenario? Maybe just go ahead and maybe just type it on the
Copy
notes.
and paste.
Mine's not showing up anymore. I wanted to do it.
I wonder if y'all are behind someone too. Mine was behind someone, but I was able to see the bottom to drag it over. So maybe drag over some some of the others that are already published to see.
I was just trying to do that, but it's not moving.
Oh, it's not.
You ever see a dragon? Hey, what a dragon?
It's
You ever see
hard.
a dragon?
Yeah.
Try
Yours?
clicking the corner on the icon of your,
Oh, it's okay.
And on my phone, I literally only see.
See my post name?
oh,
My old one. Yeah, I don't see it.
oh,
Okay, and now it's got an
It's my
email.
old one.
So it's got an
make
email.
post, I
It's
just
got
made
a
a
post.
comment under my old post.
Okay.
Alright, so this one, email.
How about we do that? Just under the original post, we just edit it and add.
That's cool.
Okay.
Or at this point, if you want to text it to me, send it to me in the messages and
We'll add it later.
on Heartbeat. And they emailed me yours, Deani.
Yeah, oh.
That's strange. Did you do anything to ask me to do that? Or just, I literally have not gotten an email this entire time. That just right now it's an email that just has the friendly artwork. Added a new post in Blakely Sustainable Village Plan. Very interesting. Yeah, this tool is pretty glitchy. Alright. Yeah, go back and it's gone. All right. That's not good. It's not working for us, but we good. We'll figure it out. All right. So I'm gonna work on that. Everybody got it to me somehow, some way?
Not to say.
Okay. We're running down to the end. All right.
I have another sense, but I can't.
If it comes to you, like, you can send it to me.
Yeah.
Anything comes to y'all later, y'all can send it to me, text or in the group. And next thing we're going to talk about is mapping interests. Meaning, if you're looking at the agenda, you should see a bunch of different areas that you may feel called to contribute. So, for example, there's food production systems, housing, land search, fundraising, design, legal, governance, outreach and marketing, off-grid energy, education, childcare, business model / economics, new member onboarding process, collaborative governance process, conflict resolution process, etc. So, with that being said, for those of you who are in the virtual, if you can click on to the agenda and just type your name next to the areas you feel called to contribute. And for those of you who are sitting here with me, I'm gonna just pass the computer around. Or you can tell me if you can't see it. No, you can't see it. You don't have any links anywhere. So, I'm gonna make this really big and then we all can kind of look at it and just chat it up real quick. Everyone see it?
me, collaborative governance.
All right, yeah, just tell me, I'll type your name in.
Okay, collaborative governance and education.
I have one.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
So again, food production, all right, I'll go one by one. All right, so we're with you,
This
Education, collaborative governance, process, conflict resolution, and food production.
All right, Dion.
I have education and childcare.
I suppose your name, right? D-I-E-N-I?
Yep.
Okay.
And new member onboarding process.
So do we have to be experts at these, or you said just wherever you want?
Where you want to contribute, then you want to do the research and compile
Mm-hmm.
and bring back info to the group.
And conflict resolution.
Ashley.
Food production.
I'm about to go on right there. Let's go around that way or let's go there. Which way?
Land
Either way.
Go ahead. Anybody else?
I'm right after you. I'm gonna put my things in.
Fundraising. And then go down and childcare and education.
Ooh, it smells so good.
Why you come back in here with one plate?
Where his pinky up?
I'm not speaking you out my community already.
That's not collaborative.
Right, it's restorative justice.
Lawrence doesn't mean collaborative is what I meant.
What's that?
I'm talking about actually kicking him out already.
Right. You can tap into that process. Well, my bad, Cynthia, you can actually just tap the library. I'm sure you did that for a reason, I'm sorry. The red line, getting at me. All right, okay, Kenisha.
Can I see the list?
Yeah.
I know I want to do onboarding process, childcare, education, and collaborative governance. So just type your name.
All right, you said, you said what?
New member onboarding. I can do conflict resolution too.
Kenisha.
Maybe children conflict resolution. Not really, because I mean, I hold space in general, yeah.
Alright, so conflict resolution, new member onboarding.
Childcare, yes, and education, or something like the women's education. Let me see what else you got.
What's going on with y'all, man? We had to take a little snack break. You know how it is, man.
Right now, we're mapping skills,
Mapping skills.
seeing who's gonna contribute to what.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be better if we moved it around. 'Cause I just feel like it's more interactive. Like give them a thing to clown.
Want to show them what's going on in there?
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna turn this around, show y'all
On the commotion.
what it look like when you build community, man, with families in mind. Y'all don't mind, do you? Y'all cool? Y'all cool? Good. Nah, ain't no pop. Ain't yeah, just a million people on right now, man. You know, a little powwow, too hotty.
Just, emotional support.
Our L Boogie
Yeah, just put me at growing
growing.
food production.
Food production, housing, land search, fundraising, design, legal, governance.
Governance,
You wanna do this?
design, what you say, land search? Oh yeah, land search. And then we'll just stop there, bro.
Alright. And design. And land search. Alright, and then for me, it's the ones I was gonna do, folks hold them down, like why you do. I guess I'll go with governance.
I'm sorry, y'all, if y'all didn't see the links and everything. We'll tighten up next time. We try to, it's an emergent strategy, man. We're gonna twist and turn. Y'all know how we do. What's up, plant lady? Kane. Obscured oblivion.
Housing.
Baby, you look off the camera.
It's facing y'all.
Oh.
Alright.
My wife told me to get my lips out the camera, man. I don't even know.
Alright, so we on there, and the things that are empty, we know that folks are gonna show up and show out. Those that, it'll be an all hands on deck type of thing, or
Yeah.
when needed, those who can step up in a moment,
Mm-hmm.
or we'll call into community, call in community to help with some of the things if necessary. But the next thing I want us to talk about is co-deciding on what do we need to start moving forward, possibly putting things in the order of importance or priority. And then I have some ideas here. I'll wait for Melo and Deanna to come back. I'll say it again, but land research, legal structure exploration, project plan drafting, financial modeling is like some ideas. But what do y'all think? Y'all just start thinking about it. What's first?
So say it one more time. What's first?
Yeah. What are the necessary first steps to start moving forward? Let's name those.
I think drawing a layout of what we envision.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think financial planning definitely should be up there with what we're contributing to.
My bad, y'all.
What that looks like for each household.
Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
I was still real quick. So right now we're talking
My bad,
about that's first steps, like based on what we just mapped and what people want to do. What are the first steps? What do you think we need to do first? That's what we're talking about right now. And as we're talking about it, I want to share this with y'all, just so y'all have it in the back of your mind. I just put this in the chat as well. It's a website called One Community Global. And One Community Global, for the last 13 years, they've been working on open source plans for what we're talking about. So basically, when I tell you literally everything we're talking about to the most extreme detail is here. And they have it named as highest good food, highest good energy. They have a philosophy of the highest good, building this community for the highest good, and that's kind of the overarching philosophy. And it goes into more detail what that means. But they name all of their research under those titles: highest good food, highest good energy, housing, education, economics, society. And then if you click on any of them, like housing, for example, it goes into, again, great detail about, you know, the plans. They have seven different models of communities that they blueprinted out. Everything from where to source materials from, and the cost is all there. Different contractors that you can consult. You know, different planners, different like city governance considerations, zoning considerations, material considerations, like they've done it all for the last 12 years. They've had hundreds of people volunteering to build out this very extensive site. So I say that to say, I think we can leverage it. There's a lot of stuff that they've already done that we just gotta go pick and choose for our liking and then add to, take away. But I think it gives us a good foundation based on wherever our particular areas of focus are.
Thank you.
So I wanted to share that.
One community, right?
OneCommunityGlobal.com.
Y'all heard that.
I'm sorry, .org.
.org. One community global.
OneCommunityGlobal.org.
We appreciate y'all's work.
I sent them a message because I'm in awe with them.
Yeah.
They even do a weekly update on YouTube of their progress. Weekly update, and they're looking to break ground to build all 7 of these on the same property. So, like for one, this is an earth bag village, straw bale village, compressed earth block village, recycled materials village, treehouse village, shipping container village, cob village.
That's dope.
So one of the things, all right, so when we're talking about, again, next steps, I think one of the first things is like deciding like what type of build do we want? What type of structures can we all decide that we could see ourselves being in? You know what I mean?
Excuse me, Sajada?
Yes.
It sounded as if you were showing the site, and I just want you to know that for me, all I'm still seeing is the board with the notes.
Okay. Did you happen to see it? Thank you, Karen. Did you happen to see it in the chat?
No, it didn't pop up for me in the chat either.
All right, let me share this real quick. Can you see it now?
Okay, I'm seeing it now, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is the one that they call their highest bid housing portion of their website. And I was talking about the different types of villages that they blueprinted out for folks. And, you know, they have, you know, great detail on each of them. And everything's modular, so you can take bits and pieces from it. You can build it the way you want, but they provide a model in terms of how they're gonna build it out using those particular structures and materials. But anyone who wants to take it and do what they want with it, they can. So yeah, okay, so I just wanted to point that out because I think it's a really, really good resource. So that's one of the things I'm thinking about, you know, is I think that's one of the necessary first steps is housing. And what were y'all saying in addition to that?
Location,
So like where? Land.
Yeah. Size. Size. How big do we want it to be? Like we have to like compute things as far as like sustainability metrics. That's a big thing.
What structures we wanna have? Infrastructure.
So land,
And what's up, Zakia?
housing. I would say also like legal structure stuff is probably a really important first step stuff.
Yeah. We learned that.
Yeah, I just put infrastructure like all together, like infrastructure.
So, all right. Based on that, right? So we got like legal structure. Are we gonna be a nonprofit? Are we gonna be a for-profit? You know, are we gonna? So some of the things around land, for example, I've always thought about is like being stewards. You know, instead of owning anything, that we're collectively stewarding the land, we're collectively stewarding the properties. Like being an example of like post-capitalist, you know, organizing and living. It seems like everyone seems to be on the same page about that. Anyone have anything to say about that in the virtual world before I Is that feeling in alignment with y'all, stewarding, stewarding the land,
Absolutely.
stewarding the properties together? Not being about
I think
owning
it's-
it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I think it's really important that we move away from those old paradigms. So yeah, I definitely think stewardship is the way that we, want to look at it.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that.
okay, awesome. All right, I know it's 3:30, which is supposed to be the time we're stopping. I'm losing my voice sometimes, y'all, so excuse me. But the only next thing that we were gonna talk about after deciding immediate next steps was the shared, values. They are the shared values of collectively sustainable. We can talk, I'll move that to the beginning of like next, agenda to really talk about that. But in terms of the next steps, like, let's see if we can just take a few minutes for those who have time. If you have to leave, that's fine, we understand. But for those who have time, I would love for us to be able to say, until we meet again in 2 weeks, what are we doing? Like, what do we wanna, what do we wanna do? Do we want folks to, in their area of expertise or, contribution,
Start doing it,
to start like bringing some
resource map.
proposals, resource mapping, and so bringing some resources and ideas to the next meeting?
Yeah.
That's the lowest hanging fruit.
All right.
Move forward.
Does that make sense to everyone that's on the virtual meet with us? So everyone has this agenda, that's on virtual, so you see what your name is next to, you know what you put your name next to. For those of you who are here, we'll figure out how you can get this, before you leave, or just make a note to yourself on what you're gonna resource until the next time we meet, and bring some ideas to propose that we, consent to together, and keep putting one foot in front of the other like that.
Yeah.
All right,
Sounds good.
sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, this was dope.
Yes.
Thank y'all for being here. For those of you who are with us virtually, for those of you here live, we about to, chomp on some more snacks, and we'll chat with y'all later.
All right, I'm gonna close out this live too, y'all. I'm just let y'all see these patches real quick.
All right, peace, y'all.
Peace, y'all.
Let these folks see the flavor.
Hey. You know I'm your type, man. You know it. You know it.
Thanks for joining us, y'all. Collectivelysustainable.org. Collectivelysustainable.org. Become a steward. If y'all want to join these meetings, make sure y'all become a steward.
There it is. Catch y'all next time.
All right, y'all. Peace.